Do you crave exciting sports takes and news? Fed up with the same old boring voices you hear on the radio? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you just might be a TBloomaholic. Lucky for you, it's time for another episode of the TBloom Talk Show, the #1 sports podcast in the world. Settle in, my TBloomanites, because another episode starts right now. Live from TBloom headquarters, here's your host, TBloom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TBloom Talk Show. Of course, I'm your host, TBloom, joined in with my co-host, Ron the Don, a.k.a. Ronnie Bohani, a.k.a. Ronnie the Rhino. How's it going, Ronnie? Still warming up, still shy. That's okay. He'll break in. Joining us for the first time, however, a new sort of, I wouldn't say co-host, but a new artifact added to the resume. My good friend Cactus Jack here. Cactus Jack, I have grown him since a wee lad. Let me just show you. Cactus Jack started off as this small of a little lad, about 2 years ago, I'd say. And I grew him up, and now look how big he is. The guy's a frickin' stallion. Lady cactuses, watch out. This guy's gonna steal your heart. Huh? Get out of here. Anyway, just in case you guys know, you guys can break off these little things from a cactus. Just put it in some soil, water it, and that thing will grow to this guy in about 2 years. With that being said, welcome to the TBloom Talk Show, Cactus Jack. We got a lot to go over today. It's the 83rd episode of the TBloom Talk Show. It's 50 degrees out, cloudy here in Tacoma, Washington. About an average day, you would say, for May 5th here in Washington. 50 degrees to 0 degrees and 50 degrees to 100. Pretty mid, pretty normal, and pretty depressing. That's how we like it here in Washington. We got a lot to go over, guys. We got the Bears offseason to grade. We got to go over the Ryan Garcia PED addressment video. I want to detail that whole thing. We're also going to go over the new NFL kickoff rule and how that's all going to look and whatnot, and also much more. But before we get into that, let's go over what's happening today. Some games of the day here in the MLB, Major League Baseball, that is. You got the Atlanta Braves taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers at about 1:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a big game because they're at the top of the MLB right now. You got the Braves sitting at 20-11 and the Dodgers sitting at 22-13. For the Dodgers, James Paxton will be pitching, former Mariner. And I'm not sure who the Braves pitcher is, but it should be a good one, folks. If you're not into that, unfortunately, if you don't like baseball, there's nothing else to watch. So the NBA games are done. The Cavs have beat the Magic to advance to the semi-conference finals. Shout out to the Cavaliers for that one. Magic, man, you guys gave it a good run. I'm sure you guys will be back yesterday. Got a lot of young talent on that team. Next year, there's always next year. I mean, I'm sure you guys have said that a lot of times over there in Orlando, specifically if you're a Magic fan. Well, we got that all the way. Let's go in now to the Bears off season. Okay, so the Chicago Bears. Going into the off season, there was speculation. Are they really done with Justin Fields? What's it going to look like come draft time? All those questions were answered, obviously. They parted ways with Justin Fields and bring him over to the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you very much. And it is now officially the Caleb Williams era in Chicago. But that's not all that happened this offseason. Chicago made a lot of changes, and we'll go over them specifically in detail here in a second, and for good reason. I mean, you can't have the same setup that you did the year before and expect different results, right? The whole Einstein thing, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So they did a good thing. They pretty much, revamped their whole entire roster inside and out. But they had a pretty easy projection for the offseason. What I'm saying is that it would be really hard to mess up this offseason in terms of their standards as a Chicago Bear. They had a layup, so to speak. Did they complete that layup? Did they brick the layup? Well, let's go over that. Let's start with the coaching. Guys, they lost 5 coaches and they gained 7. I'm not sure how that works. Some of the most notable coaches that they did gain was Chris Beatty. We'll start off with him. A receivers coach coming from the Los Angeles Chargers. He was there the last 3 years with Keenan Allen. And Keenan Allen arguably had his best years the last 3 years. So Chris Beatty, he's coming in. They got Rome Odunze. He's going to be a guy who's going to be a big part of that development of Rome Odunze. And I think that's a particularly key hire for the Chicago Bears because he did have a lot of success with Keenan Allen and him having a good last 3 seasons. So that's just one of their hires. Now you got Jennifer King, the first official woman coach, I believe, ever in the NFL. She comes in as an assistant running back coach. She was with the Panthers in 2018. 2020, she was with the Commanders. She's a former WFA, Women's Football Association legend. And, yeah, I mean, she's been kind of passed around throughout the... Seriously, dude? That's not what I freaking meant. Grow up. She's been passed around throughout the league, bump into receivers coach. She played QB and receiver, but now she's an assistant running back coach. I think it's notable to bring up because she's a woman coach, but is this a PR stunt? What are we doing? I mean, is she really a good coach, or is she just used as a PR stunt for all these teams that want to have some sort of good publicity? I don't know, but she just got hired to the Chicago Bears, so we'll see about that. The next signing is Shane Waldron as their offensive coordinator. He's part of the Sean McVay coaching tree. He coached in Seattle as the OC for the last 3 seasons, I believe. Russell Wilson was a big advocate for him being the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, specifically because of his ties to Sean McVay. We all know about coaching trees. We all know about Matt LaFleur. We all know about, obviously, Sean McVay. What's his name in the 49ers? I mean, everybody wants a piece of those... what's his name? Why am I drawing blanks on the goddamn San Francisco 49ers head coach? Shanahan. Obviously, everybody wants a piece of the Shanahan tree. This is another guy who was part of that tree in terms of he was a branch off of McVay's vine. So I guess you could have some upside towards that anytime you got a mind like that in the facility, especially for a new offense that they have now. Could be a good thing. So I like that hire. The Chris Beatty hire I do like. I think Jennifer King's probably a publicity stunt to get some good publicity, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move on to the players. They lost Eddie Jackson, their safety. This is on the defense side of the ball. Eddie Jackson, their safety, is no longer with the team, but they replaced him with Kevin Byard from Tennessee and Jonathan Owens from the Green Bay Packers. Kevin Byard's going to be an immediate starter, a veteran, seasoned guy who ultimately is not, there's not going to be much of a fall off, right? There might even be more production at the safety position. I think Kevin Byard's a little bit better than Eddie Jackson. And then Jonathan Owens is a guy, yes, he was a starter a few times for the Green Bay Packers. Ultimately, he's going to be there for just to fill a roster spot, right? To have some sort of backup at the safety position, to be able to come in and give guys rest and maybe even see some starting playing time, who knows. But a guy who's capable of starting and who's going to give you a good, solid foundation at the safety position. Also, they lost center Cody Whitehair, longtime Chicago Bear. I think about 7 seasons he spent his career there. Got rid of him, but they replaced him with multiple offensive linemen. Yes, he's a center, but they signed a lot of offensive linemen this offseason. They drafted a guy as well. They really went out and tried to booster this O-line for Caleb Williams, and for good reason. This is a line that has struggled immensely over the past 2-3 seasons, and a big reason why I think Justin Fields struggled. It's not easy being a quarterback in the NFL. It's not easy being a quarterback in the NFL with a bad line. It's not easy being a quarterback in the NFL with a bad line in being a Chicago Bear. I mean, it's just, it all stacked up against him. And just so we're clear, Caleb Williams will be experiencing that same thing this year. It will not be a piece of cake that some people are trying to project this new Bears team to be. I mean, we'll get into that later, but I just want to give you a foreshadow a little bit of what I think the Chicago Bears team is going to be. So, let's move to the offensive side of the ball in terms of skill positions. They upgraded a lot over there. So they already had DJ Moore. They got Tyler Scott, a young rookie receiver. They didn't really have a big, go up and catch over a defender kind of guy, a big body kind of guy. Then they bring in Keenan Allen, a seasoned vet, a guy who is going to create separation with his route running. Very consistent hands. Although he is big, he can move like a 6'5", 5'10" guy with his quickness and his shiftiness. Great route runner, and this is the big part, he's going to provide veteran leadership in that locker room, which is what Chicago's been missing for a long time. I mean, a long time. That's where I think most of his value is going to come in, is what role he plays and how willing he is to be able to coach these younger guys up is going to play a big part in how successful and how good of a trade Keenan Allen was coming to the Chicago Bears. So you got Keenan Allen, you got DeAndre Swift, who we've seen in Philly. He started off having a pretty decent year, then Philly just kind of fucking fell off, and so did he. But DeAndre Swift, a guy who's going to have some injuries. You got to watch out for that. Same with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is no stranger to the injury, to the IR, okay? So let's just put it there. They got DeAndre Swift to boost that running back position. Then they got Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, the two rookies, coming in and pretty much the future for this team. Hopefully. This is the idea. Will it happen? We'll see. But yeah, they bolstered their offensive skill positions and their offensive line immensely. They didn't do too much to the defensive side of the ball, except for the safeties and a couple pish-posh moves here and there. Nothing exciting, but they didn't need to. Here I have the Chicago Bears defense was 12th in opponents' yards per game at 324.2. Just 12th, middle of the pack, pretty decent. They were first in opponents' rushing yards per game at 82 per game. So they can stop the run already at the highest of levels, literally the highest of levels. Come on. What are we doing here? Fucking iPhones. Anyway, they're 25th, though, in opponents' passing yards per game. This is what scares me. The only thing that they made a difference in terms of their roster move is the safety position. They lost Eddie Jackson, replaced him with Kevin Byard, brought in Jonathan Owens for some depth. What are they going to do to make their, passing yards per game or their pass defense better? They didn't bring in no corners. They didn't bring in no defensive gurus. They didn't do nothing. Apparently, they like the position. They like the players that they have. We'll see how that works. I mean, I would say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But goddamn, the pass defense is broke. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't like how they didn't go out and find any other, cornerbacks or whatever. And they're also 5th in takeaways per game at about 1 point something. So this is a defense that was not obviously the priority coming in the offseason. The priority for Chicago was to get their quarterback of the future and to get this offense rolling in the right direction. And I think they did that, not only in the player personnel department in terms of adding players, but also in the coaching staffs as we went through. Chris Beatty, Jennifer King, and goddamn Shane Waldron. So there it is for the Chicago Bears. Now let's go... Okay, let me give my grade. My grade for the Chicago Bears offseason is an A, and that's not saying much because they really had to work hard to screw this up. But they didn't screw it up. They made all the necessary moves and even went above and beyond by snagging Keenan Allen. I will give this offseason grade an A for the Chicago Bears. Early projections for the Chicago Bears, though. How will they do next season? Will it be a struggle? Will it be an immediate success? Will there be any sort of struggles for Caleb Williams? The answer to that is yes, absolutely. Guys, think of this whole Chicago Bears team as a cheese fondue, if you will. Melted cheese, right, in a crock pot. They got in Gouda. They got some sharp cheddar. Maybe a little pepper jack, a little musha vusha, the bish, the bash. You know what I mean? They got all these new pieces together, this fresh, good cheese. They're all good by themselves. But it's not about how good they are by themselves. It's how well they melt together. Right now, guys, they have not even started the melting process at all. They are blocks of cheese that are cold and have not melted together at all. And that is going to take time, right? It's going to take time for these guys to develop some sort of rapport with each other, to develop or to understand players' tendencies. For Caleb Williams, he's going to have to understand, players' route runs, how different players run their routes, timing. I mean, all these things are coming into play, not to mention the coaches coming in. They got 7 new hires on the coaching staff. There's going to be some struggles. There's going to be some conflict, and there's going to be some stuff that's going to have some sort of resolution. Will they get through it? Sure, maybe they will, but at this point in time, no, they won't. And this is why I think they're going to struggle early. Like I said, going back to the cheese fondue, these cheese blocks haven't even begun the melting process. The melting process really starts week 1, not preseason, week fucking 1, when it's the real fucking deal. When each score, each yard matters. That's when that's when the fucking temperature goes from 100 to 450 real fucking fast like that. And we're going to find out just who Caleb Williams is in terms of his mind, how strong-minded is he? Because he's going to struggle early. Is he capable of taking boos from Chicago fans and staying put and staying on the mission and still believing in the coaching staff? Or is he going to crumble because he hasn't been put in this position ever in his fucking life? He's never had a bad team. He's never been a bad player. He's always been the best player on the team. He could possibly be coming into this Chicago Bears new season, but he's going to have his struggles, and how he reacts to those struggles is going to ultimately decide how well of a QB Caleb Williams is. So yeah, there's too many new faces in the building. There's no established culture. There's no established team identity. This is all going to take place in the beginning and middle of the season, and eventually by week 16 we'll know just who the fuck Chicago is. It's going to take time for them to get to know each other. And again, guys, there's a reason why the Bears have been the Bears for the fucking forever. Why their last Super Bowl appearance was from a guy named Rex Grossman. Why they haven't had any sort of QB that lasts more than 7 years since Jay fucking Cutler. And Jay Cutler just didn't cut it, guys. Sorry. I don't think that's what Chicago wants. If you're a Chicago fan, let me know right now in the comments. Do you want another Jay Cutler? Fuck no. You want a goddamn Aaron Rodgers, someone who's a Ben Roethlisberger, someone who's going to be a fucking staple, a QB for the Chicago Bears for the next 15 years. That's what you guys need. But that's tough. There's a reason why that hasn't happened in Chicago. The one thing that hasn't changed, they've changed coaches, they've changed players. The ownership hasn't changed. Can Caleb Williams be the Messiah for the Chicago Bears to turn him around and make him an actual decent franchise? Well, I'll tell you right now, it won't happen early in the season. They will struggle early. However, the offseason is an overall A, and that is my take on the Chicago Bears offseason. All right, let's move on to the new NFL kickoff rule. And how did this even come? Why do I even want to talk about it? Well, there's speculation amongst the Steeler universe, so to speak, about Justin Fields possibly being a kick returner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this all sparked because of Jaylen Warren's interview he did where he said that the special teams coach for Pittsburgh has simply, brought up the possibility of him being the kick returner. So there is some sort of realness and some sort of credibility to this claim that Justin Fields may be the kick returner. Just a little bit. Enough to be able to want to talk about. So, sorry guys. I got freaking runny noses. It's that time of year where it's cold in the morning and hot in the day, and I don't know what to wear. I don't know how to feel. I don't know if I feel sick or if I feel good. You guys know how it is. But anyway, there's some credibility towards this. So Justin Fields being the kick returner, an initial thought, obviously, I was like, absolutely not. Why the fuck would we do that? Sure, he's a good runner for a QB, but is he honestly our best runner on the team to where you'd want him as a kick returner? Not to mention, this guy could potentially be our future. This guy's our second-string QB. We need him healthy and ready to go in case Russell, 35-year-old Wilson, gets hurt. So, immediately I was like, no, fuck that. But then I thought, wait a minute. Kickoffs aren't the exact same thing as they once were. They made a huge change to the kickoff. So I wanted to let you guys in, TBloom Nation, on exactly what the fuck are we going to be seeing on Sundays when the ball's kicked off from one team to the other. So I did some research and I found a little video that I'm going to show you guys that I believe explains this perfectly. It gives a good visual on it too. Because I've read the description of it on ESPN, but I mean, I need to fucking see it, dude. I don't know what the hell you're talking about when you're writing those words, when you write them ESPN. Come on, dude. Anyway, so I'm going to bring this up, and if I do this just right, go there, go there. Oh, yeah. See, we got two cameras, man. Two cameras coming in. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Should be in that little camera right there. Look at that, huh? How about that? Look how far we've come, nation. Two cameras rolling. I'm in the corner of your screen. We're going to look at the new NFL Kickoff Explained. Here we go. I hope you guys can still see me. I really do. I'm going to assume you guys can. So, let's watch.
Here's everything you need to know about the NFL's new kickoff rule. It's going to look a lot like the XFL's kickoff rule. The kicker's going to be at the 35, but the kickoff team is going to start on the other 40-yard line, only 5 yards away from the blockers.
That's
These guys
weird.
won't be able to move until the ball is touched by the returner. Now, the end zone to the 20-yard line will be known as the landing zone, and this is where the returner or returners will set up. If the ball is caught in this zone, it must be returned. There are no more fair catches.
I like
Remember,
that.
this rule is to encourage returns. The return rate last year was only 22%. So to incentivize that, touchbacks are much harsher to the kicking team. So let's break that down. If the kick doesn't reach the landing zone, the ball's placed at the 40-yard line. If it goes out of the end zone or flies into the end zone and is down, like a normal touchback, the ball will be placed at the 35.
Holy
if
shit.
it is in the landing zone and then rolls into the end zone and is down, the ball will be placed at the 20. But again, this is all to incentivize them kicking it into the landing zone. And if it's caught in the landing zone, it must be returned. Now, what about onside kicks? Well, the actual kick will look the exact same. The only difference is the team has to declare it to the referee, who will then...
Stop. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now. You got to declare onside kicks? You fucking kidding me? In 2006 in the Super Bowl, Colts vs. Saints, you mean to tell me Sean Payton would have had to come out and tell Tony Dungy? You mean to tell me Sean Payton had to come out of the locker room and tell Tony Dungy, hey, guess what? We're going to surprise onside kick your ass, so you better be ready. No, it doesn't fucking work that way, because it's no longer a surprise. That's bullshit. You should never have to declare what you're going to do before you do it in the NFL. That takes out all the shock value, all the kind of the cool plays that can happen off of that. Man, I don't like that. Really? NFL, you went that route? You really went over there with it. We're over here, everyone's together, we're all playing ball, we got our football over here, and you took your ball and you went fucking over there with it. Started playing a different game. I think kickoff should stay the same, but if we're going to change it, and they want to change it, I like the whole, you got to kick it into this zone, and if you catch it, you got to return it. I like everything besides this, besides the fact that I got to announce when I'm going to onside kick. I think that's stupid. It takes away the likelihood of you getting an onside kick, because if the opponent knows it's coming, well, guess what? That's real fucking easy. Takes away the creativity. That's my only bugaboo about this, and it's a huge bugaboo. It's killing me. Anyway, let's continue.
And notify the receiving team, which means there's no more surprise onside kicks.
Bullshit.
So, do you think this rule change will be good for the league?
I don't know if it's going to be good for the league, because it's honestly setting a precedent for other shit to be changed that I don't think needs to be changed.
Everybody knows when mom's smiling. We're
Okay,
all
easy,
smiling.
buddy.
So
This
you
is...
better make mom happy on that.
Shut up. YouTube and their ads. Where do they get off? Ultimately, I think this is going to start a snowball effect, and a lot of shit's going to be changed until eventually the NFL is now a fucking flag football league. But for next year, it's going to be weird, but it is what it is, man. I don't like it overall, but it is what it is. Going back to the Justin Fields scenario, considering those the new rules, I still don't think that he should be a kick returner. I think it's fucking stupid. There's no way that he's the best. He doesn't have the best ball. There's no way that our fucking second string quarterback has the best ball skills on the team so much that we need to have him as a kick returner. I think it's bogus. I think it's stupid, and that's my stance on it. Changed my mind. News came out a couple days ago. Old Ryan Garcia has been popped for PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. This is what he had to say about it. Let's go over it. This is an interesting video. I've watched it one time, but there's a lot of layers here that I think we should definitely engage in. So here we go.
Cheat.
Easy, buddy.
I came on here to address this bull fucking shit claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I don't.
Lies. I love, yeah. She's very credible.
Cheat.
She needs to fix her hair. Fix your hair before you get on. Ryan, you should have let them know. Don't be fucking patting your hair in the background of my video. You need to be clean, fresh, ready to go. Keep the mm-hms, uh-uhs. Keep them flying, but fucking, this is my time.
What can I say? You know, why didn't they come out with this before, you know, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring?
They never do that.
As a cheater, and then come out with the victory, and then they post this, you know. Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper.
Boom, pause. Go back there. We need to detail that. You see what he's doing there? He's pointing up to God. No weapon against me shall prosper. I'm not a big, Bible guy, but I'm pretty sure that's a, what do they call those? A quote? Or, like the little Corinthians, whatever. It's in the Bible, okay? And he's pointing up to God. Keep in mind, this is a guy who said that he went out and partied Monday, Tuesday of the week prior to the fight. So, I mean, calling God now is a little weird because you're not really living a godly life, it seems. But anyway, keep going.
Against me shall prosper. I never taken a steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids.
Boom, pause. Yes, you do. The guy's right behind you there in the glasses. Same guy you get the Coke from.
At the end of the day, I barely, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. That's fucking retarded, so.
Okay. Wow. A lot to unpack there. Let's watch that again.
I came on here to...
Whoa, boom. Did you guys see that? Look at her, wherever her name is. I don't even... This is weird. It seems like Ryan Garcia was in a... Let's go back to the full thing. It seems like Ryan Garcia was in that same room that he's filming the video, and the news just broke, and those two people happened to be in there, and he said, okay, guys, we need to address this right now. The guy with the glasses, I can tell, does not want to be there. He does not want to be shot in this scene at all. That's why he's just kind of awkwardly standing back there. But Ryan Garcia insisted, no, we're going to go straight to it, guys. Get behind me, look pretty, and fucking nod your head when I say something. That's what it seems like just happened. They didn't want to really be a part of it. And as you can see, we'll play it again. At the very beginning, that girl in the back, she gives that awkward, and every girl does this. When the video starts, they get the little pucker face, and they do the little twos. It's just, it's bizarre. It's funny. It's comical. She thinks this is about her. She thinks this video, she's got actual, she thinks that she couldn't be replaced by anybody. She was the person for the job. No one else could do what she did in this video better than her. And that's what I think's funny. All right, let's continue. The fuck? Oh, come on, dude. OBS, don't try and fuck me. There we go.
I came on here to.
You see that? Watch that.
I came on here to address this bull fucking shit claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Everybody knows that I don't.
Lies. Fucking lies, bullshit. Ryan would never fucking do that. He would never do that.
Cheat.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows he doesn't cheat. Everybody knows I don't cheat, dude.
What can I say? Why didn't they come out with this before?
Because they never do, Ryan. They never say, hey, let's stop this fight. Let's stop the main event. The thing that everyone here that's working, that paid money for, the thing that this whole, the reason why this whole thing is going, let's cancel it. Because that's how you lose money, buddy. That's how you lose money. They've never came out and stopped a fight because they said, oh no, he popped for PEDs. No, bud, that's never how it's been. That's why they didn't say it. Continue.
The fight, if they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with a victory and then they post this, Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken a steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day.
Right behind you, buddy. Same guy you get the A from. That guy in the glasses. Right behind you. Just so we know, that's the real freaking... Without that guy in this video doesn't really do much. But because that guy with the glasses in the background with the New York, baseball cap, makes it all the worthwhile.
I barely, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
That's retarded, so.
Yeah, I would say it is pretty retarded. Bold move, Ryan. Real bold move. Let's go back to main screen. And YouTube and their ads. Just had to throw an ad in there, couldn't you? Didn't you? YouTube. Had to throw an ad in there. I wasn't even about to watch another video. Just had to throw it in there. Anyway. First off, bold move, Ryan, by completely discrediting science. First of all, you came in 3 pounds overweight. I thought that was due to maybe you didn't really give a fuck, but it showed that you did give a fuck with the way you beat up Devin Haney. But coming in 3 pounds overweight, what is a side effect of steroids? Weight gain, muscle mass. What is really hard to do when you're on steroids? Lose fucking weight. 3 pounds overweight. Science test came in. You popped. You back that up. You try to fight those two things by saying, one, you don't even know where to get steroids. I don't even know where to get steroid. Me? Steroid? Me? Pfft. I ain't never seen a steroid in my life. I wouldn't even know where to start. Dude, you're a boxer. You're surrounded by it. Professional athletes, they're surrounded by stuff, substances that make them perform better. Come on, Ryan. If you're popping, fucking accept it. But don't go out of your way. Don't bring in a girl who just wants to be famous on TikTok or whatever, and your drug dealer on a video to apologize, or not to apologize, but to address it. Just don't. No, stop it. Come on, Ryan. You're better than that. You're better than that. All right, let's move on to a very interesting scenario. I'm not sure. It was last week. It was an MLB baseball game. The Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Los Angeles Dodgers got a game delay, not because of rain, not because of electrical issues, maybe the scoreboard wasn't working, not because of any of that, but because of a very, very unique reason. Check this out right here as we go back to the YouTube cam. Okay. Let's watch this.
Chase Field, you're looking live at a bee colony that has established a foothold high atop the backstop behind home plate, and thus we remain in a bee delay prior to Game 2 of the series here between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm Todd Walsh. We wanted to give you an update on the situation. I want to show you some of the events that unfolded. This is what we saw right after our pregame show concluded and the bees began swarming, and obviously that's an issue. No one knew exactly how long it would take. Now we hear between 8:15 and 8:30. Blue Sky Pest Control is on their way, but not here in the ballpark yet. The fans were moved out of the way. They saw this on the giant screen out here. Yes, we are in a bee delay. Can't imagine we'll see both scheduled starting pitchers here tonight as well, but hopefully we'll see you in an hour or maybe even less.
Wow.
Now to big inning. This is it. The beekeeper made his way, a grand entrance onto the field here at Chase Field. He was greeted by a standing.
I wonder how much he got paid to do this.
I
wonder if he was on call.
Ever get into the books. The marketing department at Blue Sky Pest Control, I think, has just called an emergency meeting because look what they have. You can hear the crowd roaring behind me right now.
Is he gonna burn him?
Made his way to the lift.
Someone get a flamethrower, burn those fuckers.
Making his way down. This is one small step for man.
Oh, he's got the boom lift going.
Just remove the bees. Now the players are coming out to witness this, obviously. And what we have been told is this: after the successful removal, which I believe we just saw together here, there will be about a 30-minute cooling off period because the bees that didn't get into his container will still be swarming in the area where the colony made its way to the top of the backstop here at Chase Field. Again, we go all the way back to the start of our coverage here. Our pregame show had just concluded and we began to see bees assembling by one of our remote cameras.
Wow. That guy's got to be getting paid $100-something an hour for that. They called him in on his damn day off. They called him in on his goddamn day off to come and fucking take out some bees so that some MLB players can play a baseball game. That is the job I want. Because there's no way he didn't come in for less than 3 figures an hour. It was probably even more than that. Probably a 4-figure job. But not to mention, did no one bring a can of Raid? Seriously? Multi-million, billion, trillion freaking dollar MLB, LA Dodgers, Atlanta Braves, or not Atlanta Braves, but the fucking Arizona Diamondbacks. Multi-billion, there's billions of dollars walking around that stadium, and no one thought, hey, maybe we grab a 6-pack of Raid from Home Depot in case bees show up. You know, it'd be good to have. No one thought of it. No one brought it. What the fuck are we doing, guys? Come on. That's going to do it here, folks. TBloom Talk Show episode 83 is done. It's fucking over. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Comment below anything that you want to say. If you have any questions or if you want to even be on the podcast, you go ahead and comment away. We'll make it happen here at the TBloom Talk Show. We don't discriminate. We only interrogate. Ain't that... Huh? Well, not interrogation. I understand that, but that's not exactly what I'm going for, Ronnie, okay? Just let me end this shit right now. We don't interrogate. He has flashbacks. He's been to prison, but we initiate. And I don't know what that means. That's up to you guys to kind of make that up for me. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. TBloom Talk Show. I'm your host, TBloom. This is your co-host, Ron the Don, a.k.a. Ronnie the Rhino, a.k.a. Ronnie Bohami, baby. Also joined by our other co-host. For the first time, Cactus Jack. We're signing out right now. Love you guys. See you next Sunday here on the TBloom Talk Show.